Tonight on Top Story, Supreme Court clears hurdle and sets April 16 to begin hearing of the biggest political case in Ghana's history.
Dr. Mamdu Baumia, Professor Jacob Bilamte are required to file affidavits of their witnesses they intend to call in the matter on or before the 7th of April 2013. The court then will start the actual hearing, that is the trial, on the 16th of April 2013.
Tonight we'll hear from the legal teams of the NDC and the petitioners. Top Story is brought to you by Boyne Financial Services, your success, our passion, Belacqua Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water, Blue Rose Limited, Shelter for All, as well as Lifebuoy Soap, still offers you 100% better germ protection. My name is Francis Aben. The lines have finally been drawn and the date set. April 16 will mark the beginning of the biggest political trial in Ghana's history. Today, the Supreme Court cleared all hurdles for the trial on the election petition brought before it by NPP 2012 presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo and others to begin. In exactly 2 weeks, the legal teams of the petitioners, President Mahama, the Electoral Commission, and the National Democratic Congress will head to the Supreme Court to do battle. The petitioners want the court to annul over 4 million valid votes cast. Now, the issues for the trial have been narrowed down to 2. Joy News' Ani Osawute was in court and joins me now in the studio with details. Good evening to you, Ani. Now, what are the 2 issues the Supreme Court will be examining?
Well, specifically, before I come to that, you recall that the last agenda date, the Supreme Court ordered the various lawyers to go back and put their heads together and agree and narrow the issues down and agree and come back. Failure to do that, they must inform the court so that they will set the issues before them. And likely today we went, and that was the issues. And so the issues were narrowed down to 2, and I'm quoting one. The first one is whether or not there were violations, omissions, malpractices, and irregularities in the conduct of the presidential elections held on between the 7th and the 7th and the 8th of December 2012. And then the second one was whether or not the said violations or irregularities or omissions, if any, affected the results of the elections. So these are the 2 issues that when we go back on the 16th, the various lawyers will have to do battle with.
And we are also aware that the petitioners wanted to present audio-visual evidence. Was that granted?
Precisely so. It was not granted, and the reason was that some of the judges and Atuguba and the rest, they said that they don't have the mechanism for that, and again, most of them too are not really computer IT proficient. But the bottom line is that they don't have the mechanism to set up. Even the lawyer for the petition and the person of Philip Addison said they'll provide those machines, but they said no, that will not happen. But the point is that everybody was happy. And one sticky thing has to do with the absence of Chachu all this while. But today it came there, so I think that everybody can go home to rest to know that Chachu is in charge of the NDC's battle. I
want to say thank you to you, Ani Osawute, for joining me in the studio. Now, let's now hear the initial reactions of the legal teams. Gloria Kufo is a member of the petitioners' legal team. She described today's proceedings as good for the election petition.
5 days after these affidavits have been served on the respondents, that is to say the Electoral Commission, Mr. John Mahama, and the NDC party, they will also be required to file their affidavits of their witnesses. However, the parties themselves may lead oral evidence in addition to the affidavits of evidence that they would have filed. The court then will start the actual hearing, that is the trial, on the 16th of April 2013. So we are not worried, provided that we are happy. It is on the record. Our application is there. It is quite clear what things we want the court to look at. The court understands what we want to guide the proceedings.
While the NDC legal team was also happy with today's proceedings, Victor Adaudu is a member of the party's legal team.
The parties, that is Nana Akufo-Addo, Jake and Dr. Baumia, with the respondents, they are entitled to give oral evidence. That means that they will be in the witness box, they will give their evidence in chief, will cross-examine and you re-examine as the normal court process goes. So that's what the court has given indication, and it says also that they should file their number of witnesses, people they want, the affidavit, they should file it on the 7th. Then the respondents will file 5 days after it has been received. So this is what we will do, and on the 16th, we will come back, and that will be a date for definite hearing.
And that was Victor Kojogan Adaudu, a member of the NDC legal team. Meanwhile, the court in the 6-3 decision has thrown out a request by the Electoral Commission for the petitioners to provide further and better particulars on 28 locations where the alleged voting took place without authority. Now that the mist seems to have been cleared for the case to be opened in 2 weeks, how ready are the legal team? Shortly we'll be speaking to Gloria Kufu, who speaks for the petitioners, and also Victor Adaudu, who's a member of the NDC legal team, who will be joining us shortly on the lines. Now, today's case in court gave the opportunity for all the legal teams to have a firm word on when the case will start. Now we do know in a fortnight, on the 16th of April, that's exactly 2 weeks from today, the trial will be opened, and we'll see finality on this issue as regards to the election petition. We'll go for a quick break now. When we come back, we'll speak to the main actors in this particular story. You're live on Top Story here on Joy 99.7 FM and also on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. We're now joined on the line now by Victor Kojogan Adaudu. He's a member of the NDC legal team. Many thanks for joining us here on Top Story. Now, you described today's proceedings as a good day for the case, but your wish to call witnesses seems to have been watered down. Are you worried about it?
No. Good evening to your listeners, your cherished listeners and viewers. I don't think that we are surprised. We welcome the decision and the witnesses. We should not forget that the court said that the people you want to call the witnesses, we need to put their evidence in the form of evidence. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So it is a matter of the lawyers to go bring all the witnesses, get them, and put all together. However, it will also be subjected to the usual cross-examination. So the court also went on to say that unless it's a contentious issue, that we will put the cross-examination, which is part of the adversarial system. So it's not that you just put something on paper, you bring it to court, and the court will just accept it. So that is for us, yes, because we are looking at the justice of the case. We just don't put anything on paper and come. And even the court went on to say that for the parties, they themselves, the parties will be allowed to go through the oral evidence, the cross-examination. So we say that, yes, it's good for us because this case is the first in the history of this country in our constitutional and electoral regimes. And I think it is a novel way the Supreme Court is adopting for us to be able to get to the logical end of this matter.
Hold on briefly for me, Mr. Adaudu, because we've also been joined on the line now by a member of the petitioners legal team, Gloria Kufu. Many thanks for speaking to us this evening on Top Story. Now, your team today wanted to tender audiovisual materials into evidence, which will have helped in the trial on April 16. Now, that was not granted by the court. Are you disappointed?
Hello?
Yes.
I didn't get that, but can you speak a bit slowly, please?
Okay, I was asking that your team wanted to tender audiovisual materials into evidence for the trial. The court did not grant that. Are you disappointed?
Well, yes, disappointed because we thought that it would be one of the modes of trial that would ensure an expeditious trial. But the court said it was a good thing, but that they were not equipped to handle the evidence that way.
Now, I want to find out from you, how important is this audiovisual material that you wanted to tender into evidence for your case?
It's nothing different from what we have in hard copy. But you can imagine the volumes of documents that are involved in this matter. We are talking over 11,000 polling stations, and we thought that it will be compressed. And also, when it is visual, you can get it much more clearer than the hard document.
Right. My very final question to you and also to Mr. Daudu. Are you ready for the trial as it starts in a fortnight?
Oh, definitely, we are ready. I mean, once we put the affidavit in, it's a matter of having the parties. As you may be aware, the parties are allowed to leave oral evidence and then to be subjected to cross-examination. So we are ready with that. What we are left with is putting the affidavits of the witnesses together.
Right. I'll put the same question to you, Mr. Daudu. Is your legal team ready to go to trial in a fortnight?
We are more than ready. I think the counsel for NDC, Mr. Katuchikata, even said that if we put them in the box and we start, everything will move very fast. I think we are far ready because we want to also prove to the whole world that, yes, we won the election and it was valid and we were elected. So those are the facts. We have always said that factually it was empty, the petition, and we will want to prove to the world that, yes, this is what they might be complaining of the irregularities. Maybe, if any, may not really affect the final determination of the matter. So we are ready, and I think we will start.
Right. I really want to say thank you to both of you for speaking to us here on Top Story this evening. Victor Kojogar Daudu is a member of the NEC legal team, and also Gloria Kofo is a member of the petitioners legal team. And that's all for Top Story this evening. My name is Francis Aben.